A new season always brings fresh expectations, new debates, and a lot of curiosity about how a team will shape its identity from the very first pitch. For the Toronto Blue Jays, that conversation has taken a very interesting turn with the announcement of who will take the mound on opening day. After years of strong performances and consistent production, Kevin Gausman has finally been given the responsibility of starting the season as the team's first pitcher of the year, and that decision has sparked a lot of discussion among fans and analysts alike. For many observers, this moment feels long overdue. Gausman has been one of the most reliable arms in the Blue Jays rotation since arriving in Toronto, delivering inning after inning with impressive consistency. Throughout the past several seasons, he has established himself as a stabilizing force on the mound, the kind of veteran presence that teams rely on when the pressure starts to rise. Now, as the franchise prepares to begin another campaign, he will be the one setting the tone when the regular season officially begins. What makes this moment even more meaningful is the fact that this will be the first time in his career with the Blue Jays that he receives the opening day assignment. In previous seasons, that honor went to other pitchers in the rotation, even during years when Gausman was arguably the most consistent performer on the staff. That history created a quiet debate among supporters who believed he deserved the recognition earlier, considering the role he has played since joining the organization. Opening day starts carry a certain symbolism in baseball. While it is technically just one game in a very long season, the pitcher chosen for that moment often represents the confidence the team has in its rotation. It is a sign of respect for the work that player has done and the leadership he brings to the clubhouse. Even if veteran players often say they treat it like any other outing, there is no denying that being given the ball on the first day of the season holds a special significance. In Gausman's case, this assignment arrives during an intriguing stage of his career. He is now a seasoned veteran who has already built an impressive resume, but he continues to evolve as a pitcher. The Blue Jays have seen him lead the rotation through multiple seasons, delivering strong performances and providing durability that has been incredibly valuable for the pitching staff. Even during years when the team faced uncertainty in other parts of the rotation, Gausman remained a dependable presence every fifth day. Durability has been one of the defining aspects of his time in Toronto. Over the course of his tenure with the club, he has accumulated hundreds of innings on the mound, consistently giving the team a chance to compete. That type of reliability is not always easy to find in modern baseball, where rotations are often affected by injuries, pitch limits, and constant adjustments. Having a pitcher who can handle a heavy workload while maintaining strong results is something every team values immensely. Of course, the conversation surrounding the rotation does not stop with one name. The Blue Jays have several talented arms competing for key roles, and some analysts believe that other pitchers could eventually emerge as the most dominant performer in the staff this season. Still, the decision to give Gausman the opening day start reflects not only his track record, but also the trust the organization has in his experience. Another interesting layer to this story involves how veteran pitchers continue to adapt their game over time. As players gain more experience, they often look for ways to refine their mechanics, adjust their pitch selection, and discover new strategies to keep hitters off balance. Gausman is no exception. Even at this stage of his career, he continues to analyze his performance and experiment with subtle changes that could give him an edge on the mound. One area that has attracted attention recently is his work with different pitch grips. Pitchers often spend countless hours experimenting with how they hold the baseball, searching for variations that can improve movement, deception, or velocity. Small adjustments in grip can sometimes produce dramatic differences in how a pitch behaves when it approaches the plate. For someone like Gausman, who already possesses a deep understanding of pitching mechanics, those tweaks can become powerful tools. Reports from early training sessions suggest he has been exploring ways to add a bit more speed and sharpness to one of his breaking pitches. The goal is not necessarily to reinvent his entire arsenal, but to add another layer of unpredictability to his approach. When hitters face a pitcher multiple times during a season, even a slight change in pitch behavior can make a significant difference in keeping them guessing. This kind of experimentation highlights an important reality about experienced players. The best veterans are constantly studying their craft, looking for marginal improvements that can extend their effectiveness. Instead of relying solely on the same formula year after year, they evolve with the game, incorporating data, technology, and personal feel to refine their performance. For the Blue Jays, that mentality is exactly what they want from a leader within the rotation. A pitcher who not only performs well, but also sets an example of preparation and dedication can influence the entire pitching staff. Younger arms often pay close attention to how established veterans approach their routines, from bullpen sessions to in-game adjustments. That knowledge transfer can become invaluable over the course of a long season. Another factor that makes this upcoming year particularly interesting is the contract situation surrounding Gausman. This season represents a crucial chapter in his current agreement, and naturally that adds an extra layer of motivation. Players in this stage of their career often look to deliver one more standout campaign, proving that they still have plenty to offer at the highest level of the sport. For Toronto, a strong year from their veteran starter could play a major role in shaping the team's success. The American League landscape remains extremely competitive, and every advantage counts when teams begin battling for postseason positioning. Having a reliable arm leading the rotation from the very beginning could help establish momentum that carries through the early months of the schedule. And while opening day is only the starting point, it often sets the emotional tone for everything that follows. The crowd, the atmosphere, the anticipation of a brand new season, all of it creates a unique moment in baseball. When Kevin Gausman steps onto the mound for that first pitch, it will represent not just the beginning of another campaign, but also the recognition of everything he has contributed to the Blue Jays during his time in Toronto. As the discussion around Kevin Gausman continues, another layer of the conversation begins to emerge when people look deeper into the numbers that define his time in Toronto. Over the past several seasons, he has quietly built a statistical profile that reflects durability, consistency, and the ability to handle the pressure of being one of the central pieces of the pitching staff. When you examine the total innings he has thrown since joining the Blue Jays, it becomes clear just how significant his presence has been for the organization. Accumulating that many innings in a relatively short period of time is not something that happens by accident. It requires not only skill, but also physical preparation and the discipline to maintain performance across a demanding schedule. Starting pitchers carry a unique responsibility within a baseball team because their role influences the entire structure of the game plan. When a starter goes deep into a game, it protects the bullpen, stabilizes the rotation, and gives the team a rhythm that can extend across an entire series. That is one of the reasons why Gausman's role has been so important. While other pitchers in the rotation may have had seasons with standout moments or impressive streaks, he has consistently been the one who takes the ball and delivers reliable outings throughout the year. That reliability is something coaches value tremendously, especially in an era where injuries and workload management can constantly disrupt a pitching staff. Still, the conversation about the Blue Jays rotation is far from simple. The team has several pitchers with different strengths, and that variety opens up interesting debates about how the starting lineup should be organized throughout the season. Some pitchers specialize in generating swings and misses with high strikeout totals, while others rely more on inducing soft contact and managing the pace of the game. Finding the right balance between those styles can have a major impact on how the team navigates the long grind of a baseball schedule. This is where strategic thinking becomes crucial. The order of the starting rotation is not always just about ranking pitchers from best to worst. Managers and coaching staffs often consider how each starter complements the next one in the sequence. For example, placing a power pitcher who relies heavily on strikeouts next to a contact-oriented starter can change the rhythm opposing teams experience when they face the rotation across a series. When you analyze Toronto's staff, you start to see why these decisions matter. Some pitchers are capable of going deep into games regularly, pushing through 6 or even 7 innings when everything is working. Others might be more explosive, but operate within shorter outings, especially early in the season when workloads are carefully managed. Pairing those profiles effectively can help maintain bullpen stability and keep the pitching staff fresh during the busiest stretches of the calendar. Another challenge teams often face early in the year involves managing younger pitchers or players returning from injury. In those cases, pitch limits and shorter outings become part of the equation. That means the coaching staff must think several steps ahead, planning how to bridge the gap between the starter and the late-inning relievers. Having veteran pitchers who can shoulder heavier workloads becomes incredibly valuable in those situations. That is another reason why Gausman's presence at the front of the rotation carries weight beyond the opening day ceremony. A veteran who understands how to manage innings, adjust to different hitters, and maintain composure in high-pressure situations can act as an anchor for the entire staff. His experience allows him to navigate games efficiently, sometimes saving crucial bullpen arms simply by lasting deeper into the contest. At the same time, the Blue Jays also need to consider how the rotation might evolve as the season progresses. Injuries, performance swings, and matchup strategies often force teams to adjust their plans. A pitcher who begins the year in one spot in the rotation could move later depending on form or tactical decisions. The flexibility to adapt is something every successful team must maintain over the course of 162 games. Matchups against specific opponents can also influence how the rotation is arranged. Certain pitchers perform better against particular types of lineups, whether due to pitch movement, arm angle, or overall style. When teams approach critical divisional series, managers sometimes adjust the schedule slightly to ensure their strongest options are available for those games. Even a single adjustment in the rotation can change the dynamics of a key series late in the season. These kinds of strategic considerations show how complex pitching management has become in modern baseball. It is no longer just about sending out the same 5 starters in the same order for months at a time. Teams now analyze performance data, recovery patterns, and matchup statistics to make informed decisions about when and how each pitcher should appear. Through all of that complexity, one thing remains consistent: the value of a dependable veteran at the center of the rotation. Kevin Gausman has played that role since arriving in Toronto, providing stability while the rest of the staff evolves around him. Even when new pitchers join the team or younger arms begin to emerge, having that experienced presence helps maintain balance. As the Blue Jays prepare for the upcoming season, the anticipation surrounding the pitching staff continues to grow. Fans are eager to see how the rotation will perform and which players will step forward when the competition intensifies. The opening day start is only the beginning of that story, but it offers a glimpse into how the organization views the leadership within its pitching group. When Gausman takes the mound to begin the season, it will represent more than just another start in a long career. It will symbolize the trust built over years of performance, the respect earned from teammates, and the expectation that he can once again deliver the kind of steady presence the Blue Jays have relied on throughout his time with the club. And as the season unfolds, every outing will add another chapter to a career that has already left a lasting mark on the team's pitching history. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. The baseball world was jolted by a stunning announcement that has already sparked waves of speculation across the sport. In a brief but powerful message, Shohei OHTANI revealed that he will be leaving the Los Angeles Dodgers, a move that instantly ignited rumors about the next chapter of one of baseball's most extraordinary careers. While details remain scarce, the news alone was enough to send fans, analysts, and rival teams into a frenzy. OHTANI's arrival in Los Angeles was supposed to mark the beginning of a long-term era built around the most unique player in modern baseball, a superstar capable of dominating both as a pitcher and a hitter. Now, the sudden indication that his time with the Dodgers may be ending has created more questions than answers. Within minutes of the announcement, speculation began swirling about possible motivations. Some insiders quietly wonder whether the two-way phenom is searching for a new competitive challenge after experiencing the intense spotlight of one of baseball's most powerful franchises. Others believe the decision could be tied to long-term roster planning, personal goals, or even the desire to reshape the next phase of his legacy. Around the league, executives are undoubtedly paying very close attention. Few players in the history of the sport combine global star power, elite production, and commercial impact the way Ohtani does. Any hint that he could be available immediately turns the entire market into a guessing game. Fans in Los Angeles, meanwhile, are trying to process the shock. Ohtani quickly became a centerpiece of the Dodgers' identity, drawing massive crowds and delivering moments that reinforce his reputation as a once-in-a-generation talent. The idea that his chapter with the team could close so soon feels almost surreal. Still, in a sport built on long seasons and shifting narratives, nothing is ever completely predictable. For now, the baseball community is left with a simple but powerful question. Where will Shohei Ohtani go next? Until more details emerge, the announcement stands as one of the most intriguing developments in recent baseball memory. A moment that could reshape the balance of power across Major League Baseball and redefine the future of its brightest international star. Baseball, that's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.